Well, hi everyone, it's Dargie here with 5-Minute Photography, and this is the second part of my HDR bracketing step-by-step tutorial. If you haven't seen the first part of the tutorial, go and check that out just now. I was out shooting this shot in my local location in Cove in Aberdeen, and this video is not really about the shot, it's just about the HDR technique. And as I said in the first video, if you've got a scene where the brightness or the dynamic range of the scene is too great for the camera to capture in one shot, then you can use the HDR technique, where you shoot a series of 3 or 5 images and you merge them together later using software like Lightroom or some other software. And so here we are in the Lightroom phase of that. So before I get started, let me invite you to subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up button, that really helps me on YouTube. And to get my free ebook, 3 Steps to Better Photographs, head to my website. Okay, let's have a look at this. Now, this is the what you might call the back end of the process, and I've got these 3 images here. The first one is, let me show you this in the library module. The normal exposure, that's just exposed for the scene. The second one is 3 stops underexposed. The third shot is 3 stops overexposed from the first shot. So we take these into the develop module. And it's really simple. That's the good thing about this technique. It's so simple. Select all 3 images, right click there, and you'll find photo merge. And just click on HDR. And that's going to take a few seconds to show me this. And there it has automatically aligned the pictures, and it's applied auto settings, so auto tone, auto processing settings. I can unclick that. But I usually just leave that auto settings on, and it just gives you a start to work with the file. Deghosting is where if you have some areas that are not the same on the different images, for example, if you have moving water and the pattern on the moving water is slightly different between the files, between the 3 images, then they'll apply a deghosting sort of protocol where it helps to merge the picture together there. So I'll just leave that on none at the moment. And I'm going to click merge. So that's just going to take, sometimes it takes a few seconds, sometimes it takes a few minutes. Okay, so that process is complete, and Lightroom has put together the HDR image. I don't know if you can see down there, it's created another file with the name HDR in the file name. I'll just bring that down, and that shows you what we've got. If I take off the auto tone settings, that's the file that it gives you. But that's it with the auto applied, whoops, there. And that just gives you a starter to work with the image. Now, I won't go into processing this image, but I do have another tutorial where I talk about processing an HDR image, and I'll put the link in the video here now. So that's the HDR bracketing process from the shoot to the back end. It's a really good technique for a scene where the dynamic range is just too broad for the sensor in your camera to capture in one go. The good thing about this is that it gives you, it's down here on the exposure slider, usually in Lightroom you get a range of 4 stops to the minus side and 4 stops to the plus side. With an HDR file that you've created in Lightroom, you get this 10 stop range either way. So you just have masses of data to work with that you wouldn't normally have in a normal file, and it gives you so much latitude for processing your image. So so I won't go into processing that just now, that's a different video, but hopefully you get the idea of how easy this can be. So if you've got a scene that's tricky to shoot, there's too much contrast, the bright parts are too bright, the dark parts are too dark, consider shooting an HDR bracket of 3 images. One for the exposure as is, 1 for 2 or 3 stops underexposed, and 1 frame for 2 or 3 stops overexposed. And then if you have Lightroom, you can simply merge those together with the click of a button and then process the image as you normally would from there. So thank you for watching. I hope you took something away from that. Remember, subscribe to the channel for new videos as they come up, and you can check out some of my location shoots from around Scotland. Give the video a thumbs up, hit the website to find out all about what I do. Be kind, enjoy your photography. I'll see you out there.